Hi, traders, and welcome to the PL Capital Commodity Report. Today is Wednesday, February 21st, just after 5 p.m. Central Time. Going to go over the usual natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's start. All right, natural gas is the spot market. And finally, natural gas showing a little bit of life here. Very well could be that what I've got labeled as three, that the third wave is in. Now we won't know until this up move gets bigger because there's always a possibility that this three wave move down, that was just A, and then they're coming up for a B wave, and then still one more down for the C wave of this third wave. It's very possible. We don't know. I just want to see the size of this correction. This fourth wave correction should go up uh, quite a bit more than it is right now, if it is going to be the fourth wave. So we'll know in the next coming days what's going on, if this third wave is in or not. So if we zoom in, we can see they are definitely playing some games here in the after hours. So this candle right here is the 3 o'clock candle for Central Time, right when the market closed, and then they pushed it higher. So nobody to stop them from pushing it higher. Very low liquidity, or liquidity, very low volume, trading volume, so they can easily push it. And that's exactly what they did. So this is, a very impulsive move. This up here is getting really, it's hard to see a pattern because I had this looking like, like a 1, 2. It's very possible that this is 3 and 4, and then this starts to get a little, because that looks like it should be 5. So it could be that they're gonna make like a running flat, because this was a pretty sharp sell off here, and then they did come and just kind of break it. So I actually expect like that's probably like the A wave, a B. They'll probably push it up a little bit more, and then one sharp sell off before they go. So with the inventory coming tomorrow, that'll be interesting to see. Might be playing some games when that comes out, spike it low and then reverse it for more up. So we'll have to see what this pattern is right here. It's not very clear, but I would think that there's still some more up. Now, if they do start to really come down hard tomorrow, then I think that there is the possibility that the three is not in. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't be shorting here, that's for sure. I'm I'm only for myself. I'm only looking for shorts, but not at this level. Like I said, I want to see the four, somewhere higher, at least two, before I start to look. So let's see how this develops. And then if we look at the futures contract, I switched now to the April contract, so the numbers might be different from the last video. And obviously, it also getting very impulsive. So at some point we're going to get a correction, but like I said, this too, they could be making like a little running flat, so it's just going to be a very very small correction down, and then like 1 and 2, and then explode up for like a 3, 4, and a 5. So we'll have to wait and see. A lot of patterns that could play out, but you know if you want to play for the 4, I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, I'd only be looking for buy setups here. Just don't know how big that fourth wave is going to be. So like I said, I think it should get at least into the low twos, but you know, it's a diagonal. You just never know. All right, moving on to oil. All right, so oil just staying up in this range here. and it looks like they could be making an ending diagonal. So not much has changed from the last video. So I had this ABC up and still got this ABC down. So that ABC could be A, this was B down here, and it looks like they could be in the process of making an ending diagonal because you have a three-wave move here, and then there was this little baby like three-wave move. So that could be one, and this could be two, and then they are just in the process of making, that looks like three ways up for A. That could be B, and then they'll go up one more time for the third wave. And then they would correct down for 4 and then still go up for 5. So, I think this choppiness could continue, but it'll be in an upward direction as they finish this ending diagonal. So it's still hard to say. If they break that level, 75.49, then it could be that this move was the start of the down, and that was just a deep correction, and they're coming down. But obviously, if they can push up through all these highs up here, then I think they'll break 79.25 and finish this ascending diagonal here. So oil's still a little tricky. Now I'm actually favoring them to come and break this high, given this price action. It's just not selling off. So for myself, like I said last week, I'm still in the short, and I'm just using options to hedge that short. But very well could be that they come up, break 79, get into the low 80s here in some kind of ending diagonal. So let's see how that develops. Let's move on to the metals. We'll start with copper. Okay, so copper, to me, it looks like they created a leading diagonal here. So I'd expect some type of correction. And it could be then that copper is going to go up. Still going to have to wait and see what they do. If they break this 397 high, it could be that it's the start of a diagonal because you had an ABC. So that could be 1. And then this ABC, that could be 2. And now given this strength here, that could be just the beginning of the third wave. So that'll be like 1. They'll give you a correction, and then come up and break that 39085 and the 397 high for the third wave. Or there's a very good possibility that this just becomes a really big correction. That's A, ABC for B, and then they're going to give you 5 waves, and this is just the first wave. They'll go down for 2, go up for 3, 4, and 5, and then that'll be A, B, and C, and then it's going to reverse. So we've got to watch. If this turns into an impulse, and we're up here, then I'll definitely be saying that be ready, because this whole thing could collapse and reverse. Could be just a big, just a really big correction here. So, but for right now, I'd only be looking for a buy setup, but you should probably wait, because after that 5-wave move, there should be some type of correction happening before they resume up. So I'd only be looking like underneath that 4, so somewhere in like 3.7, 3.8ish. That's a good place to start to look for a buy setup. All right, gold. Go to a 4-hour chart. Yeah, not a whole lot has changed from last week. I still think that this is going to come down to break 1972 in an ending diagonal, because I think, just like I said last week, I think that was just a 3-wave move, and then you had a 3-wave move there. So I think that was A, this is B, and then you got an ABC there, and then you got a 3-wave move there. So I think that was 1. That was 2, And then this 3-wave move down to here, I think, was 3. And I think now they're, could be that the 4 is in, because it looks like, actually that looks like an impulse. But the 4 should be, if it's not already in, that 2032, maybe they might have one more wave up for 4, and then they'll bring it down and break both those lows for the 5. Now, like I said, if they do break that 2065, then this was just a 3-wave correction, like a WXY, and then they'll be going up to break. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, then they'll be going up to break at least that high, and we'll have to see, because then it still looks all very corrective, but that's gonna be a whiles away. So that's the key level, 265. I'd be favoring more down. I'd only be looking for buy setups, but I think you're going to get it under 1972. So let's see if this plays out. That, oops, the look will be this: 1, 2, 3. Either the 4 is in, or maybe one more up, 4, and then you're going to come down and break both of those for 5, and then it'll be A, B, C, and then start marching up. All right, silver. Okay, so that was a running flat with just a very small ending diagonal, that double bottomed it, which is quite rare, which kind of tells me that doing that they're probably going to come back and revisit it. So 1, 2, 3. I'm almost wondering if this is very strong. 1, 2, 3. I think that's just going to be A. This is B. And then they're going to come up one more time, break that high, and that, all in all, that'll be just an ABC, and then they'll reverse it. So I think if you're looking for a buy setup, this is actually a pretty good place to look, but it's just a short-term trade up to 23.49. And then after that, any moment, I think they could reverse it, because I think this is going to be coming down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, I think this has got the very good potential to come in all the way to break that high. It'll be just a 3-wave move, and this whole thing will be WXY. And then, so just like gold, then down here under 2066 is going to be a great place. Moving on to uranium. Now, uranium is, like I said in the video last week, that I didn't think this 3-wave move would end the 5th wave. I was kind of leaning towards that was just the A wave, and that would give you a correction and one more. This is getting obviously really deep, because if they break that 2663 level on this chart, then the 5th wave is in, and we're done, and now they're starting a really big correction. So now, so far, I do see 1, 2, and it looks just like they really extended this C wave here, or at least what it could be. What I'm thinking is a C wave. Because if this corrects one more and then goes back down and breaks that low they set today, then this is actually an impulse, because then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You get a correction, but then they're going to come back down, and then this is looking like the 5 is in. So this is actually probably not a decent, not a bad area to look for a buy setup, because you got a lot of upside, and you know that if they break that, then that's probably a good place to have your stop loss. So it's getting a little interesting with uranium. I still think they're going to go up one more time, but we know where the key level is. If they break that, they're in a big correction then. All right, That's commodities. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support. And I'll see you in the next video.